So a lot happening this hour, including this continuing coverage of our top story, the FBI's unannounced and unprecedented raid of President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. For reaction now, we welcome in Republican Senator from Kansas, Dr. Roger Marshall, there at the Capitol. Senator, good to see you, and thanks so much for coming on. A lot of questions for you on this. I'm curious to know, I'm sure you've been following the coverage of this raid of a former president's home. Do you have any thoughts on this? There's a lot of kickback, if you will, of the Senate. Not a lot of tweets put out by the Senate. Are there any thoughts that you have on this raid, sir?
Yeah, Sean. Well, everyone should go to Roger Marshall, MD, at Roger Marshall, MD, to our Twitter account. We were up early on this particular issue, but my phone blew up last night with friends and family members, people that seldom reach out to me about politics. The message I'm hearing from Kansans is it felt like Lady Justice took off her blindfold yesterday again, that the law is not being applied equally. Growing up, the FBI was such a well-respected organization. My dad, a police officer, he instilled upon us children the respect for the law officers, including the FBI. So this is just a tragedy to see this law not applied equally, to see the way they would treat President Trump, but at the same time they've ignored Hunter Biden's issues and Hillary Clinton's issues as well. Why weren't they subpoenaed? Why weren't their homes broken into? Americans get this. They know the law is not being applied equally.
Yeah, we'll continue to follow this story. I appreciate your comments on that at this time. I wanted to turn, if I can, to the Inflation Reduction Act. Again, that bill was passed, as you know, as you were a part of it. You were a no on that, as well as every other Republican within the Senate. The president spoke about this recently. As you take a look on your screen of what's inside of it, just to remind viewers, this also happening in the background of this raid as well. $740 billion bill here, about $370 billion for climate change, a little more. It's the largest ever there. It does cap drug costs for seniors on Medicare. Bolsters the IRS. I'm curious to talk to you about this. What are your thoughts on the IRS addition of 87,000 agents inside of this bill?
Yeah, well, literally, the White House has weaponized the IRS. They gave them extra ammunition and weapons recently as well, and now we know why. They have 87,000 new agents that are going to be armed, and they're going to be going after hardworking Americans. They're going to be going after small businesses. And even if you have done everything you can, humanly possible, worked with your accountant, and you get an audit, you know, as a young couple, you're going to probably spend $2,000 defending that audit. If you're a small business, you may spend $25,000 defending that audit as well. So just like we saw the FBI being weaponized politically as well as figuratively, we're going to see the same thing with the IRS. That's the mantra of the Democrat Party. It's the mantra of Joe Biden, a socialist organization that wants to control America at every step and level.
And just to understand that clearly, I believe the Washington Free Beacon put this out, and really, I think just did the math plain and simple here, that this would make the agency larger than the Pentagon, State Department, FBI, and Border Patrol combined. Again, that's how large scale that would be. Again, 87,000 agents. And many are worried that that would attack the working class. Does Kansas feel that way?
You know, absolutely we do. Look, what are 87,000 new agents going to do? And by the way, we already have a labor shortage in the real world. So this takes away from GDP into jobs that don't add anything at all to the growth of the economy. So it's a sad day. Kansans very upset about the way that the IRS is being weaponized. What happened yesterday in Mar-a-Lago, we're very, very suspicious of the government right now.
If I can, I'll just close on this. If I can go back to the FBI raid, an attorney, Christina Bobb, for President Trump, to NBC News, did confirm that papers were seized, that the raid did happen. Eric Trump said it was 30 FBI agents at the home of the president yesterday morning, moved into the afternoon. Again, still no comment from the DOJ and the FBI on this story. The White House claims they did not know about this. They also broke into a safe. Again, that according to those close to this story. Do you feel that the DOJ and the FBI should get out in front of this story? There obviously an active investigation. However, politics are at play here. An unprecedented situation is at play here. Do you feel the DOJ, the FBI, should put out a statement as to why this was conducted in this manner? Why not subpoena for these documents? Why go this far to raid a president's home?
Yeah, more than that, they need to have a press conference, a live press conference with real reporters in the room to ask the questions. They need to get in front of Jim Jordan and his team, Jamie Comar over on the House side. They'll be here Friday. They need to have a hearing and tell Americans the truth. This is the problem. This is why Americans don't trust the federal government, is this lack of transparency at every level. America deserves some answers. They need to know, why it was performed in this way. Why are they not equally applying justice? So absolutely, more than just press releases, they need to have a live conference and tell America exactly what their motivations are, who knew what when. Ray and the Attorney General Garland need to both get in front of America and answer the tough questions, as does our president. And the national media needs to be willing to ask the tough questions. Take your gloves off. Quit treating this White House with kid gloves. Do your job.
I'll leave it right there. U.S. Senator from Kansas, Dr. Roger Marshall. Thank you so much, Senator. Good to see you. We appreciate you taking the time for the viewers.
J.P. Morgan's CEO is warning that an economic hurricane is coming. Are you preparing? If you don't do anything, your 401k could be a 201k, and that is not good. So call our trusted friends at Lear Capital. For 25 years, Lear has helped investors own gold to protect against market chaos. It's a good thing. They can help you too. Get your information and up to $15,000 in bonus IRA gold. Just call this number, 800-880-4300. That's 800-880-4300.